Hey everybody, I am back. This video is going to be a little different. It's got a mishmash of several things. First, I wanted to share with you that I've been looking at Five Below for a rug called Shindy rug. And my lighting is really bad, so I hope this works. Shindy, right there. And they're normally $5.55 at Five Below. I can get some natural light in here, even though it's hot as heck out there today. Okay, so there are 3 Five Belows, well, there's 2 that are very close. One in one direction, one east, one west. And we checked them both, and neither of them had these rugs. Then I saw a video, good old TikTok, always gets me in trouble, as does YouTube usually. And I saw that Big Lots carries them for $9.99. Now these rugs at Big Lots are a lot larger than the ones that Five Below is supposed to carry. So any rag rug should do, as long as it's colorful like this. Now I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. This one is more muted. Even though there's still yellows and there's orange and there's reds and greens and stuff in it, these colors are way more muted than these colors. So there they are, kind of side by side. And it's hard to tell on camera, but these are more muted. These are brighter. The pink's brighter, the greens are brighter, the reds are brighter. You know, everything is really cool looking in here. So this video is going to be a little chopped up because I'm going to have to stop it and start it again, most likely. I had to clear everything off of my little work table that I have, which is only about, I don't know, 3 feet long and maybe 2 feet wide. So I had to, let me push it up against the wall there so it quits wiggling. So what I'm going to do is I am going to tear some of this fabric out. And the reason is you pay this money, like Five Below would have been a lot less expensive, but Tony's the one who said, go ahead and get both because you're going to wish you did. And the man, after 47 years, I think is finally figuring me out. Maybe. We'll see. Anyhow, I am very excited to cut into these. I don't know if you know anything about weaving, but there's a warp and a weft, and your warp is this, would be these strings here. And the fabric strips that are put in and out of that warp make a rag rug. So I don't know where these fabric strips come from, but I've seen some exciting ones on TikTok. I've seen other people do this on YouTube before. If you're a journal maker, this is a great way to get strips of fabric. I'm trying not to cut the fabric, for like wrapping up your journals or for tassels or for anything like that. So what I have to do is find the other end because I think they ended it. Nope. Maybe there. That might be the last row they did. And as you can see, they're all different colors. Okay, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to get some of these taken apart because this is going to take me a minute or several. So I'm going to stop the camera. I will put it back on when I start pulling fabric out from here. So I'll be back in the blink of an eye. Don't go anywhere. I've got the first row started of both rugs. So I used both these scissors and a seam ripper because I wasn't sure which was going to work better. I had to tear out the very, let me show you on this one. You have to tear out these warp threads that are all knotted and everything So cutting those out is the easiest way to get started. Look at this color. I mean, seriously, I'm gonna bring you down a little bit. Look at these colors. Now, this is not cotton. This is all kinds of nylon. And I can tell you that, look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? I'm sorry if you can hear the stupid noises outside from the machinery. I can't do anything about it, and I'm tired of not filming when they're working out there. Okay, now, and this one came out of there. Look at this. It's like a silky nylon. Look at that. I can use that in my embroidery. I can just cut that out and put it down as a decoration on something. And then the rest of this I could use, I have two purposes that I wanted to get this for. One is for the hearts that I make, because I'm still stuck on making those hearts. Actually, three purposes. The others, if anything is worth it to take out for embroidery, I will use that. Like this may be the only piece I get out of it. I don't know. For putting on like a square or a heart or anything that I am embroidering. The other use is to for the, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I get excited. Is for hearts like this. And the other project is I'm thinking of doing a strip quilt. So some of these, like this, gets really thin at this part. They're not even, they're ripped pieces. I'm okay with that. You know, but if I take this and I bunch it up, how pretty would that be on a white heart? And my next heart, I think, is going to be white on a black background. So look at that. It almost looks like a flower if I do that. I mean, I am so excited about this. And you can see like this red has yellow in it. I'm just really excited about this. So the other one with the more muted colors, let me put this on the floor. I don't know how long it's going to take me to tear these apart. I'm assuming I'm going to do it in front of television at night because that was the seam ripper falling on the camera stand. Let me pick it up before I put my foot on it and stab myself, because I have been very accident prone lately. This one, look at this beautiful wine color. Look how much there is in there. I mean, and yeah, I'll have to probably iron these out. Oh, look at these little polka dots. I love how other countries call them spots and we call them dots, polka dots. Look at that. Now these are clothing remnants. So really, if you think that I went out and bought this rug new and I'm not thrifting, I beg to disagree. Look at this pink. It's got bits of black and other green and other colors in it. Oh, look at the little flowers. Oh my goodness gracious. It's very sheer, but you know, and am I going to have to iron this out? Yeah, some of it is going to get, look at this gold. Isn't that pretty? It's getting washed out. Hold on. Let me see. Can you see the shimmer? Hold on. There you go. Too much light washes everything out. There's the shimmer. And that's, I mean, this is probably 18 inches to 2 feet. And then there's this, which is sinfully ugly, but it's also sewn to this other piece. So my plan will be to take these two pieces apart. I love this like greeny bronzy color right here. This one I would mush up and use in a heart like that. So I want to make hearts. I want to make a strip quilt, and I can use these. Oh, this purple. Purple. Oh, this purple is so pretty. Now on my camera, it's showing up really well. And since I changed the light, look at this orange. Won't that be fun to use? Orange and red. I mean, and this is just this is from the first row. This is what I pulled out from the first row. That's interesting. That'd make an interesting background for something, wouldn't it? Very sheer. I'm so excited. I mean, we went on a wild goose chase to find this. Now this is just red and white. And my current heart is red and white. So I could twist those together. I can tear them apart. Oh, look, look. So I have red and I have white. Kind of a dirty white. And granted, I don't know where this fabric's been. I don't know where it came from. It smells a little bit like perfumey smell to me, but I have a very sensitive nose. This looks like it was the end of a blanket or something. I don't know. It's all like weird and wild. And I'll put these pieces aside until I figure out what I'm going to do with those. But, oh, this piece. Oh, look. Look at this. Look at that flower. Look, it's a whole flower. Look at that. Oh, you probably can't see it. Maybe if I put my hand behind it. Look at that. Oh, so pretty, 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 pretty. It's got a little glitter to it. Can you see the shine? Yes. Look how long it is. That was like the whole width of the rug. Look at that. Oh, pretty colors. Oh, look at that. Oh, that would make a pretty flower. Look. Isn't that pretty? I mean, seriously, like, where's the tag? Okay, these were $9.99. It's 35 inches by 59 inches. 60 inches is 5 feet. So it's 5 feet long and almost 3 feet wide. It's an inch short on each end. And in centimeters, it's 90 centimeters by 150 centimeters. And it's called, again, it's called a chindi accent rug or rag rug. They even have them on Amazon. Now, I didn't check the prices against what I just spent. Amazon does have them for $8.99 or something like that. But I wanted to see them in person and pick out the one that I get. And these were the last two in that Big Lots that we went to this morning. Look at this. Okay, that is pretty. I don't like this green. They used a lot of this. But it'll be pretty. Like, I could cut this into strips and use it for, I could couch over it and make stems. Yes, I could do that. Look at this pink. And I think it's not going to be real hard to pull these apart. There's going to be more cutting for sure. But between these scissors with the very good points on them, this was just tied into, see, that's more of that end of the warp threads. So yeah, that green is not my favorite, and there's a couple of those in there, but now these are sewn together, so I can take them apart. Look at this pink and the pretty sparklies in it. What do they call those birds? Magpies? I've decided I must be a magpie. So this is just a chain stitch that I will be able to tear out very carefully. And these were just sewn together. So yeah, if you're thinking that you don't know where to get strips of fabric from for various ideas that you may have, look for a rag rug. Like I said, they do have them on Amazon. They have them at Five Below if you have a Five Below in your area. They have them at Big Lots, which of course is here in the US. Look at this purple. I see a purple heart coming up in the future. Oh yes, and there's black and white, and there's more of that pink, and it's got some teal attached. Look at that. I could just sit here and do this all day. Okay, I have to do the rest of this video. I will be back in the blink of an eye. Please don't go anywhere. Alrighty, I am back with progress reports. So this is the flower that is going to go on this square canvas. And I will show you what I've finished so far. Let me juggle a couple things here. I apologize, but lighting issues and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in because if I lift it up, the light doesn't hit it the right way. And this light is like right in my face, literally. So there are the bouillon roses that I did previously and the ribbon roses. I finished putting a couple of leaves on each one. That's probably my best one. I got tired of doing the leaves after a while. And now I am putting a vine, kind of stem, kind of viney thing all over here. And I'm experimenting with different kinds of leaves. These are bouillons with like a lazy daisy around it. Didn't love it a lot, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm almost done with that. And I think it's going to hang this way, but let me zoom you back out. It just barely fits on this canvas. When I have to pull it taut on each end, there is going to be like the leaves are going to overhang. I'm okay with that. That's not a bad thing to me. I'm going to raise up the camera a little. There we go. And sorry for the jiggle wiggles. So when I do this, and you have to go back over there so you're not in shot, like one of my other videos that I had to zoom in on the editing program because the light was in it, the actual light fixture. So when I do this, it's going to be like this. And those flowers around the edge are going to be very close to the edge and maybe sort of coming off the edge a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to be okay with that. So that's the update on that one. Now, I started going a little crazy with this one. And again, I'm going to bring you back in. Sorry. Okay. Right there. Pull you over a little. Yes. All right. You know, we have to make adjustments, and I apologize if it upsets anybody. Went and got some beads yesterday. Tried to open them from the top, and I thought, this is way too hard. So I opened them from the bottom, and I swear I was careful, but this thing is chock full of check beads. And let me tell you, they went flying everywhere. They were all over the desk. They were all over the floor. Yeah, it was an adventure for sure. And there's a few of them floating around here somewhere. Oh, where did I put them? I have them here. Where's my little... Here it is. They're in here. And I have my needles in here as well. So, let me show you what I've been doing on this. So, I also bought some gold thread, but don't tell Tony. But I already had that gold thread at home. Now I feel stupid for buying another. But I put gold beads in here. Can you see them? And then this has gold beads all around it, but I'm going to tone it down with more red. Red French knots and colonial knots, and red and white. It's going to get, those will get toned down. And then there's a few in here. And I used a little bit of the gold thread, like just snuck a few around here and there. And let's see, I think there's some somewhere else. But anyway, I'll probably put a few down here so that that cream fabric is covered up under the That under there will have to be covered up. So I'll probably just sneak a few gold knots up in there and, you know, maybe a few other places. And, you know, can sneak some beads in there. I put a really nice row of white and red beads there before I had the gold. Otherwise, I would have put gold in there too. And so I may push those that way, and I don't know, gold thread or gold beads, I don't know. And then I used some other beads up in that area there. I really like the way this one's coming together, and I've really had a lot of fun doing this red one. I've just let loose. This bead is going to go right there in the middle of that, if I can get it through all of those fabrics underneath it, which I should, because really there's a hole right down the middle of all those fabrics, so I shouldn't have any trouble getting that little white pearl in there. Yeah, so I've had a lot of fun doing this. So I think I'll do a little stitching, but basically this was just a catch-up of, brighten that up a little for myself so I can see, a catch-up for for you to see what I've been up to. Now, the reason I haven't been around is because I had a bad week. I ended up tweaking my knee the day before. What's today? Today's Monday. I tweaked my knee on Saturday. Not my bad knee, my not so bad knee. The other knee from the really bad knee. And really kind of was in way more pain than I wanted to be in. Now my back has gotten, I'm trying to get this light so that I can, sheesh. I'll tell you, lighting is just a huge issue for me, and I apologize. My foot, which has the stress fracture in it, has also been hurting. And as much as I hate to complain, I really was out of commission for the last 3 or 4 days. I just could not pull it together. And then the days before that, the construction guys, they've moved a little further down, so I don't think you can hear them now, or maybe not as much now, I hope. But they were literally one house over from being in back of our house. And we didn't have any idea that they were going to be working this close to our house. Now, again, I live on a golf course in a gated community, and with an HOA who makes very bad, expensive decisions. So I have no control over any of that. And they have been working out there for months, like I think since May. And now they are spreading sand and dirt and all that. I think they are done excavating. However, I don't know. There are just enough trees between us and them that it makes it hard to see exactly what's going on. But let me tell you, I will have a freaking party when they leave. I cannot wait for fall when this is supposed to be all done and we can open our doors and windows and not have the dirt, the diesel smell. I mean, at one point they had 5 huge machines out there. Bulldozers, front loaders, excavators. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So, I have not been a very happy camper. This is the thread I bought. And I already have. I'll show you. same number. So stupid. I didn't realize I had it. It stinks, but you know. So I'm going to put this little guy in that box until I can wind it on this spool. And we'll just cut off a little bit. I just want, maybe I'll make a bullion, which means I need a different needle because it's a thicker thread. And I need the bigger eye, and I need to pull, the thread through, of course. And I need my wraps to be able to go over the end of it. So maybe I'll do a bullion from here to here. Oh, I hate working in a hoop and doing bullions. It's very hard. And I've also been, like, my head gets overwhelmed with, I went through a dry spell for ideas, and that was not fun. And so now I have like several ideas. So I have a quilt top that I made, and I mentioned this in a previous video, so I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but I made this quilt top, oh, probably 9 years ago, 8 or 9. That's kind of overtaking that. I made it too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it through that way, and then I'm going to cheat, break all the rules, and I'm going to put a little stitch right in the center to sort of anchor it. And see, you really can't tell. Do I want any more gold up in there? Maybe. Just a few here and there. So I made this quilt top. Oops, what am I doing? Never finished it. And I have the backing fabric, and it's all very teals and purples, and it's really pretty. Well, I decided that since I probably won't use it on a king-size bed, and it wasn't really, you can't really say it was king size as far as width, you know, to go across the, I lost control here. What else is new? Across the bed from side to side. So I took it, it's in strips. It was made from a jelly roll, which is strips of fabric, if you don't know the quilting world. And I just took out the middle seam. That's all I did. Just took out the middle seam. So now it's a little narrow. It'll fit nice, I think, on our little tiny beds in the camper van. And it'll be a good size to snuggle up with in winter. But anyway, or a nap size. It's more long than wide, I will say that. So now I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, I have, oh, gosh sakes. I have to cut the, oh my. It does not pay for me to talk and sew at the same time. It's like walking and chewing gum. I'm bound to hurt myself doing it. Just let me concentrate on this for a moment. Thank you very much. What was I saying? I looked on Missouri Star Quilt Company YouTube and found a very easy way to back it. But she says you have to have 5 inches on either side of the backing fabric, and I don't. So I'm trying to figure out if I can get it to work. And I think I can with the same method, where you sew right sides together, leave an opening, and turn it right side out. There's a trick to do the corners, so you have a perfectly mitered corner. I don't know if that's where the 5-inch thing came in, but I'm going to give it a go. If nothing else, I'll baste it with a really wide stitch on the sewing machine. And then I will, I can tear it out if I have to. However, I have not quilted it yet. I have not quilted the quilt top to the batting. And that's what she did, Jenny Doan on Missouri Star Quilt Co. So I'm not sure I want to do it that way. And you can tell by my voice that I'm not sure I want to do it that way. And I am trying to figure out, her batting does not sit inside the border that she sewed on. And I don't want the edge, like the border, to be really wide and not have batting in it. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it would make the edges, I don't know, not padded. And if I have a quilt, I want the whole thing to have batting in it. So yeah. So I went downstairs and I was measuring all that out, and I don't kneel on the floor. I can't kneel or crawl around on my hands and knees. I haven't been able to do that in 30 years, maybe more, because of my knees always being so bad. So it's been a challenge for me to do this on the floor. So I'm gonna have to, I have a big dining room table that we don't use, and it's in the basement, and I have junk on it, of course, because it's a flat surface. It's where I cut my fabric if I need to cut fabric. It's where I lay things when I'm choosing them, color schemes for stuff, and it's got some handmade patterns on it. It's just got junk all over it. And I really need to clean all the stuff off. And I don't know if we still have the leaf for it, but if we do, Tony and I can put that in the table. And we can lay the fabric out on the table, and I can stop bending over at the waist. So I spent about, I don't know, 10 minutes bent over at the waist trying to get these fabrics to lay out so that I could tell. I think I went through that one. So I could tell if I had enough backing and how it was going to fit and which way to lay it, and come to find out my backing is square, it's not rectangular, so either way I lay it, it's going to be fine. But then my hamstrings were killing me. Like, my hamstrings were so sore yesterday and the day before. Oh my gosh, from bending over at the waist and reaching out, I was like, you gotta stop hurting yourself, Martha. So yeah, I did that. So the last several days have been pain-riddled and not fun. And so I haven't been able, between that and the noise outside and stuff going on in the yard, you know, like Tony mowing, I just have not had a day where mentally or physically I was able, like, there were several days that I could only sit at the desk for 15 minutes. And that was it. That was all I could do. So I did a little stitching last night, but what I've done is, let me show you this tool. I've taken these hearts and I found fake felt at Hobby Lobby for $6.99 a yard. It's 72 inches wide on the bolt. 72 inches is 60, and 12 is 6 feet. It's 6 feet wide. And I got 2 yards because it was $6.99, 40% off. So I did that, and this is the felt. This is what it looks like. So I took it yesterday when I was sitting on the bed with ice on my knees and heat on my back and my hamstrings. I took that big giant piece and I took every single one of these hearts and that I made during the 100-day project, and I cut out, because the hearts are not all the same size, so I couldn't use one pattern. And I cut all these out. That one looks like it's going to be a little shy, but this sort of stretches a little. This is very thick, it's itchy, and it's 100% recycled plastic, which I'm not crazy about in one way, but in another way, for the backing of these things, it's fine. I'm okay with that. If I'd gotten the little felt squares, it would have added up. So I have this whole batch here, and I have this whole batch here, and I have this smaller batch here. And I think one of my plans is to take these with me on our trip, because come heck or high water, I'm planning on going on this trip. And I can sit and sew these in the evenings, or if I'm bored, or during the day, or whatever, and I can sit and just stitch on these very easily. Now, the only thing is I have to figure out what I'm going to use for hangers and attach that. So I think what I'm going to do is find a thin ribbon similar to this width here, in like an off-white beigey color, maybe even thinner than this. Nah, I like that. And I'm just going to get a few rolls of that and just take that with me, and I can cut it, sew it in. It'll be easy to sew. I used twine, this like, it's almost like burlappy rough twine. I used that on a couple of these. This one is other felt that I used. And it's very hard to sew through and stitch on, and you know, it takes a lot more stitching to get it in there and all that, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm just gonna, I don't think I have any thin off-white or beige ribbon in the basement, but I'm going to check there first, and then that'll be the next thing that I purchase, and I will sew those, take all that with me. It'll be easy. I can take just a neutral thread with me and just stitch around them. I'll probably take black and white as well. Whether I'll take any other stitching projects with me or not, I don't know yet. I don't know why, but I love making these hearts. And with this new fabric I just bought, well, the rugs, the fabric I'll get from the rugs, it's going to give me a wider variety of like interesting fabrics to use, because I don't have, like this wool that I used, I don't have wool like that in every color available right now. Could I get more? Yeah, but I'm not going to start buying wool again. I'm trying to use up supplies that I have. However, some of them are beginning to be slim pickings. So I really, you know, am just trying to buy the smallest of things and keep this going. There. Now, see how all these stitches sort of made those, all that, see how obvious this is here? And then when you look at this side, they sort of get hidden from the extra stitches I'm putting in there. So I'm good with that. And so this was just a catch up, and I'm going to let you go now, because I think with the beginning of this video, I'm probably almost at an hour. I didn't really pay that much attention. So that's where I am. Oh, I have one more finish to show you. Whoopsies. Let me get it. One more finish, and I'm gonna have to raise you up again. Ooh, going up, 3rd floor. Okay, and there's that light in the picture again. So get rid of that. All right. Oh, now my knee is hurting again. Now it didn't hurt this morning after we moved around a lot. This is the smaller Japanese rice bag I made for my cousin. That's a little pocket there. It's more simple. I absolutely love this dragonfly. Didn't that turn out nice? And that's the inside. There's a little double pocket right there, and it closes like that. So this is the large one. That was the first one I made that I think is too, well, for one, it's really big. I think the squares were 8 inch, and I've never made one that big before. And this one actually fits inside of it very easily. So I think she'll probably be more likely to use the small one, but I'm going to give her both because I put a lot of work into these and I want her to have both. So that's my other finish. So that's it from me. I am going to say au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, to everybody. See ya, and have a great day. I hope you're doing something fun to craft. Take care, everybody. I'll be back sometime. Bye.